Right, guys, as a professional Revit user, based on your needs or the structure of your company, or basically just some standards and criteria, you would be able to customize your project browser. Right, so let's see how we can do that. Usually, when we enter our project browser, up here we would see views all, but in my case, I have a specific name or topic because I already customized my tab. You know what, let me try showing you how the default version would have been. Right click, collapse all here. And then I'm going to do the same for the schedule segment. Yeah, this would be what we would see when we open up the project browser for the first time. Now here we can do a right click and select browser organization, or up here from the view tab, then Windows panel, open up user interface list, and from the list select browser organization. Now here we would see three tabs. In the first tab, you would be able to control the views. In the second tab, you would be able to manage the sheets, like for example, their structure. And lastly, you can control and manage your schedules. Now, I'm going to enter the first tab, view, and try creating a new view. But let me just cancel this for a second and enter the view segment in the project browser so that you'd see everything better. Now, select expand all. This way we would be able to see all the views. Now back to our browser organization and try creating that new view for the name test. When we hit OK, browser organization properties would be opened. Here we would have two main tabs, filtering and grouping. Obviously in filtering, you would be able to apply filters on one or several categories. Like I'm going to select sheet collection. Let's see what we have. Okay, or rather type. Yeah, I just want to display all the types equal to architecture, let's say. Now, if we check our project browser, we would only see all the architectural types. Okay? Now let's do something else. Everything except for the architectural types. Alright, now let's try changing our category, for example, to view scale. Yeah, equal to 1/20th. And now we would only be able to see the views with the specified scale. And basically this would be how you can use the filtering tab, and if you didn't need any filters, you can set this on none. Okay, now let's talk about our second tab, grouping and sorting. I guess it's quite clear what we can do in this tab, but there are some segments that we need to go through. Now first off guys, for sorting out the views, we actually need to specify some clauses and conditions. As an example, group by, let's say, discipline. Disciplines like architectural, structural, mechanical, electrical, and so on. Now, in the next step, based on family and type, for example, grouping based on the levels or the floor plans and such. Now, let's apply this and see what we're going to get. Alright, as you can see, only two disciplines meet our conditions, architectural and coordination. Alright, I'm going to open up architecture for a second. These would be the family and types that we wanted, like structural plans and all of its views. Same goes for the architectural plans, etc., etc. Alright, open up browser organization again and enter grouping and sorting. Now guys, we can display all the characters, the whole name, or just some leading letters, like 3 of them. See, when we do this, the names would be shortened to, for example, something like this. And if we didn't like this, we can just go back and set this on all character. Alright, now let's try adding to our condition. For example, I'm going to add by maybe, I guess we had view scale here. Let me find it. Here we go, view scale. Okay, and apply. Now let's check the project browser here. We got the discipline, we got the sub-discipline, and afterwards we got the scales. Guys, as I mentioned earlier, we are able to customize this tab based on a specific need or specific standard or criteria. For doing so, we need to enter our Manage tab and then select Project Parameters. Now let's try creating a new parameter, which we're going to call, for example, maybe type of new. Now data type on text. You can even go with true, false, or even Boolean. Or, you know what, I'm just going to go with text. Identity is the group. And for the categories, select views. You can hide the rest. Okay, we have our new parameter now. Now, take a look at the properties, guys. A sub-item has been added to our identity segment called type of view. Right? Good. Now let's go back to our project browser and then try opening up this tab again. And instead of view scale, select the parameter that we just created, type of view. Remember, guys, we can actually add this as our next step to our condition. This is completely optional based on what you need. All right, basically, this will be our third subdiscipline. Okay. And apply and okay. Now, if we take a look at the project browser, guys, we would see all of these question marks because we haven't truly specified the types of views yet, right? So, as an example, I'm going to select these. And then from here, we can give it a name like str. And it'll be added here. Let me set the discipline on structural. Or for the next step, again, I'm going to select these. Here we go. And let's give it a name. Before that, guys, as you can see, some of these are deactivated. That's because these might have some specific view templates to them. And that's why we won't be able to apply new modifications on them. So I actually need to select these more carefully. This has a specific type again. Let's see. Yeah, take a look at this. We have a view template here. You know what, guys? Let's try something else. I'm going to open up this tab, assign view template. Again, here we have type of view. Let's change the name from here. Room. Or just RO. Apply and OK. Now all of these would be set inside this group. Alright, so far so good. Let's go back to our project, browser organization and see what else we can do. Guys, when it comes to the whole sorting thing, we usually set this option sort by on the associated level. And well, obviously when we do this, the tab here would be reformed and everything will be more organized. Let me apply this. Here we go. This is very helpful, guys. Right, up to this point, we only discussed the views. Let's talk about the sheets now. Well, to be honest, the whole process is pretty much the same. We need to create a new sheet first. Let's call it sheet test. Now, let's open up this tab. Now, first for the group, let's go with group by, checked by. Yeah, let's see. Enabled. Now this sorting will go through based on checked by. Now, more specifically here, if we had different values and parameters such as Autodesk here. Here we go, Autodesk group has been created here. Now, next up maybe Revit. Yeah, basically we can go on like this. Now let me go back to this tab again. You know what, let's talk about the filters as well. Now for the filters, again, select checked by equal to Autodesk. Display only these. Guys, overall, this whole organizing thing is very important and it could be quite helpful during your own projects. Now let me go back here and try specifying another condition, like for example, based on sheet name. See, it worked out pretty well. Now let's try another one. This time maybe based on scale. Now they would be grouped based on their scale. Now check the properties. As you can see, we have different types of scales here. Now back here, sort by scale as well. Apply. So guys, basically, as you can see, this whole thing is quite optional. I mean, it completely depends on you and what you want in your project. And we talked about views, we talked about sheets. We can obviously do the same thing for the schedules as well. Just remember, guys, when it comes to creating schedules, the best option for your grouping would be grouped by category. because you might have so many different categories in your projects and you might need schedules for each of them, and this way all of them would be set in your project browser completely separately. You don't have to though, guys. You can go with any option that you want. Category might just be the best one. And yeah, that would be all regarding how to customize your project browser window.